Hello everyone. So today I'm gonna tell you a story about the first time I got drunk in my life. So what happened is, I was at this vacation park, and like, you know, I had friends there, and they were like older than me. They were able to get alcohol and shit, and this motherfucker went to the store and he bought this bottle of liquor, and I couldn't have any of it. But, you know, he was like, we can just find more alcohol for you, dude, so you can get drunk too. And I was like, how the fuck are you gonna find more alcohol? The nearest fucking store is like 15 kilometers away, which is where he got that fucking bottle of liquor in the first place. So I'm like, alright, whatever, I guess, you know, if you can get more alcohol somehow, then I guess we're gonna get more alcohol. And this guy, he just goes like, alright, follow me, guy, because we're gonna get you some liquor. We weren't getting liquor at all. But, you know, I followed him, and he was just, like, checking, you know. We were walking through that vacation park, and he was looking under caravans and shit. Like, he was just checking that shit out. And I was like, what are you planning on finding under there? And he's like, well, people always store their fucking beers, like their trays of beer. They always put them underneath their caravans for some reason, and they expect people not to steal it. So what he did is he found one that had an entire, like, full tray of beer under it. And he was like, alright, I'm gonna get this fucking beer right now. So he kind of walks over there, and he pulls out that beer from under the caravan. And no one knows, because it's like 10 p.m. at this point, and he's being very quiet. And he's also drunk, so he doesn't even care at all. And like, he's like, alright, let's get drinking, dude. Let's consume this stuff. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I want to know what it's like to be drunk. And I was 15 at this point, you know, like, I was not really that old. The people have, of course, gotten drunk at a younger age before, but, you know, I don't really care at all. Like, it's funny. And like, we just kind of, like, alcohol wasn't really allowed at the park. Like, you weren't allowed to walk around with a beer in your hand, but you were allowed to drink it at your own, like, your own spot at the park, you know what I mean? So we hide the tray of beers. We hide it, you know, like behind one of those pissing buildings where you go to take a piss, the toilet buildings, I guess. And we were just behind there, and no one could see us there. So we were drinking beers behind that place, and after a little while, like after like 2 beers, I start finally feeling something. And I'm like, man, this is kind of funny, but I'm also really nauseous, and I'm gonna throw the fuck up. And he's like, no, you're not gonna throw up at all. Just sit the fuck down, and don't lie down no matter what. So I listen to him, and I sit down for a bit, and that was funny. You know, I was sitting down, and I just keep on drinking beers until I'm kind of like tipsy as hell. And we were friends with a bunch of like female beings at this park, I guess. And but like I never asked any of them for, like, I guess their Instagrams or something, but I had the balls to do it when I was drunk somehow. I was like, oh my god, this is magical. I can just say this right now and I don't even care. And I got like a bunch of Instagrams from them, I think. Like, I was actually the master of Riz because I had alcohol in my system, which was really funny, I guess. So there I was with a bunch of Instagrams that I wasn't going to do anything with. And we started making our way to another toilet building because at this point we're out of beers. So we just sit there, and I'm drunk as fuck. And what else? Alright, okay, so we're sitting there, and he, you know, people do their dishes too in those buildings. Like, they have dishes, they do them there. Not in the toilets, in the fucking sinks, you idiots. There's special sinks for that. So I sit there, and some guy, like my friend, the guy who found the fucking beers in the first place, he sees this can, like this fucking this teapot. He sees a teapot, right? And he's like, oh my god, is that a fucking teapot that someone left here? So he picks it up and he throws it into a fucking window, and you can imagine what happens next. The fucking guy leaves this massive fucking, the window kind of breaks, but it doesn't break through, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a star. There's a star in the window. You know what I mean? You probably do. You probably know exactly what I mean, you know? And I thought that was really funny. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? It's still kind of funny, though. But like, oh my god, guys, what the hell? And, yeah, after that, he was like, well, you know, I kind of want to get more beer. And I remember seeing a tent that had some really expensive beers. You know, he saw them there. he saw a tray of really expensive beers that were apparently really good or something. So he's like, all right, I want to get even more drunk. So I'm gonna go get those beers. And I'm like, no, you can't do that because it's a tent. And you know, if you're in a tent, like if it's just a tent, obviously those people are gonna hear you because it's a fucking tent. There's no audio protection at all. There's nothing holding the sounds back. If you grab a beer there, they can just hear it, you know. But he didn't seem to really care. So he just snuck up on that tent and he took like 3 beers or some shit and he drank them all in one go. Like he just gulped them down like it was nothing. And I didn't get any of them. I don't think I got any of those beers, but still kind of funny, I guess. And you know, those people didn't even notice. I don't know what kind of beer it was, but it was fucking expensive, like I said. So that made it even funnier to me, because I don't really care. Oh right, no, I forgot the most important part of this. So there was this one girl, I didn't even know who it was, and she, like, my friend was like, all right, you should go and you need to talk to her right now because I kind of want to talk to her. So you need to go pick her up for me. And I'm like, all right, I can do that. Like at this point, like this is my first time drunk and I don't really know that my actions have consequences yet. You know what I mean? So I just walk up to her and I'm like, hi, I'm Spider-Man. Do you see that guy over there? Yeah, he wants to talk to you. And she's like, all right, fine, I'll come with you. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I just told this fucking woman I'm Spider-Man and she's falling for it. She actually thinks I'm Spider-Man. So yeah, that was funny. She believed me. That was pretty great. What else happened? Nothing much, actually. I just, after a while, I'm like drunk as fuck and I just go to my tent, I guess. Like I go to sleep and I remember everything just spinning like hell and it was really funny. And the next morning I wake up and I'm like, all right, I'm not really understanding what people mean when they say they have a hangover because I'm not feeling shit. And as a 15-year-old, 15, right? Yeah. As a 15-year-old, you don't really feel a hangover when you have one because you just don't. Like maybe when you're 15, you don't even have hangovers. I'm pretty sure you just don't. So I didn't feel shit, and I go over to my friend who was already like 18 at that point, and he's like, man, I am fucked up. I cannot even get out of my bed right now, man. I can't just fucking start living. And I'm like, dude, this is the final day of the vacation. We need to go do some shit. And he's like, no, I can't. I'm fucked up. And I'm like, I'm not fucked up. I mean, we drank like about the same amount of beer. And he's like, no, man. I had a bottle of liquor and like 3 more beers than you did, you fucking dumbass piece of shit. And he was kind of right, I guess. I didn't have a hangover, but I was really drunk. You know, I'd say he had a pretty good alcohol tolerance. Alcohol tolerance, because he was able to drink beers and liquor at the same time without throwing up at some point. Like, that's pretty great. So, yeah. That was my first time drunk, I guess. That was funny. I don't know why I even told that story, but, like, I just kind of felt like it, I guess. You know? You know, it's just a funny story, and I'm playing Doom Eternal, which is the worst game ever made. Next time I'm gonna tell you about the first time I took an edible, guys. I'm gonna be a story time YouTuber now, and I'll tell you all about the time when I first where the fuck is that arachnotron going? The fuck? All right, well that's a nice shit post. I can just publish that, you know. It'll get views. Let's try doing it again. Where are you going? Oh, he just dies normally now. What a fucking pathetic piece of shit. Whatever, I guess. Thanks for watching and fuck off.